September 17th, 2014, and welcome to WatchMadazTrade. And if you guys don't know me already, of course my name is Max, and I trade here at WatchMadazTrade.com. And welcome to today's free WatchMadazTrade session. And we're going to go ahead and see what the market has to offer us today. Thanks a lot for all you guys that signed up and showing up to the session and seeing what this service has to offer. You're more than welcome to ask me any questions at any time, and if you choose to do so, I'd like to ask you guys to log on to the WatchMadazTrade chat room, which is available via stockhaven.com, clicking on the link chat room and entering the WatchMadazTrade room through there. Alright, so today we got IFON gapping up almost 20%. Got a nice move here, hitting $4. Stock closed around 325 yesterday, ran a little bit after hours, hitting 364. Finding a support around 330, 325 is again the close, so that's a support level we want to watch today. And today pre-market breaking out of that after hours high, 364, 365, hitting 403, finding a base around 380. So levels you want to watch: 384 bucks, 365, around 350, and then 330, 325 on IFON. Other noteworthy stocks: RAX has gapped down huge on an analyst downgrade, trading in a range between 31 and 32.8, and then support in between around 31.8, so about a $1 range on RAX. Keeping that on my side watch for now. RWLK, which has been a ATM machine for the past couple of days for me. A little bit slow today, a little bit of a tighter range. Yesterday pre-market it traded in a bigger range, but still on watch maybe for possible another big play today. Who knows, it could still happen, but if the volume is low, may opt to ignore it or play with a smaller position. Right now currently trading in a range between 36 and looks like 39, close to 39, 36.5 and 38.8. MBLY has gapped up 42 cents. GPRO has gapped up $1.77. Nice little pop today on GPRO actually. It looks like an analyst upgrade on GPRO. Gapping it up 65 to 67.2. SINO, which was a stock that ran yesterday and faded for the most part of the second half of the day. Kind of not showing that much action today. It's gapping up about 8% though, but not much activity. AVNR, another popular stock from yesterday, not much activity there either. My broker is showing that RWLK has a short sale restriction on. Not really sure why. I don't think the stock was down 10% yesterday, but not really sure why the short sale restriction is on RWLK. And if that actually is the case, that could fuel a move higher. I don't know if it's showing that it's on for you guys as well. Maybe I can find it somewhere else online. But yeah, at this time, you guys want to ask any questions, more than happy to answer them. The main part of this service is that you're able to ask me questions on the fly, and usually I get a chance to answer them in a timely manner, as long as I'm not preoccupied in a trade or whatever. So more than happy to answer questions at any time. That's one of the key components of this service, is that you get to pick my brain whenever you want. So take full advantage of that, and you'll get the most out of this session. Again, ask questions via the WatchMadazTrade chat room on stockhaven.com by clicking on chat room and clicking on WatchMadazTrade. So the plan right now is just as always. If you guys know me, or if you guys watch my YouTube videos, usually just wait for the stock with the biggest volume and the biggest washout at the open. Last couple of days, RWLK was the stock that provided that opportunity. You see this candle right here. Stock opened at 41.47, washing out to 38.5. Candle closing at 42.6. That's a nice, almost $4 bounce. So you want to see some activity like that. Right now, a little bit of a lull pre-market, so there's a small chance. Could be a slow day today, so I'm prepared for that. And usually when it's a slow day, that means make less trades, don't force trades, downsize positions, your positions, and be very careful not to overtrade, of course. SPY is over 200 again today, so gapping up about 12 cents, not much, but staying over that 200 level. So IFOM, you got a question about it. So right now, if you look at stock daily chart, there is resistance up to 469. So there are bag holders above that $4 level. So we don't know for sure if it's going to run, but if it will run, definitely will have to bust through that 403 high there from pre-market. Right now, it's fading a little bit, breaking below that 3.8 support level. So definitely, it needs to hold these support levels right here. If it breaks below the pre-market low, that's definitely not a good sign. I would expect this thing to hold this 364 level for now, for the uptrend to be intact. But if you look at the daily chart again, it needs to break through this 469 level, which is the 52-week highs. I think that's the all-time highs too as well. So it needs to break through that level, and if it is going to do that, definitely $5 in the cards there on IFON. When would you sell in pre-market on a play like IFON if you bought in yesterday at $2.80 and $3, especially with its history of not gapping and running big day after volume? So definitely I would have some sort of defined stop loss on IFON. So if you were in yesterday and pre-market right now, like I said, if it breaks this, maybe the support level at 365, or maybe if it breaks 347 right here, I would probably get rid of it, because usually when the stock is going to run pre-market, it's not going to break a pre-market support level. So have a defined risk level. Have figure out what your risk tolerance is, and definitely have some sort of support level that you want to use as your stop loss on IFON, either 365, 347, or maybe if you're willing to hold it down to 330, 325. But more often than not, when the stock is going to run, it's not going to break one or two pretty key intraday pre-market support levels. Alright, so like I said, guys, if you guys want to ask questions, do so in the WatchMadazTrade room via stockhaven.com. That way everyone can see the questions. If you're going to ask it on the GoToWebinar, I will try my best to answer them, but it's still a little bit more difficult for me to get to them because A, it's a lot more harder for me to see it, and number two, people can't see the questions. So we want everyone to benefit from your wonderful questions that are being asked right now, so do so in the chat room. Again, stockhaven.com, click on chat room. WatchMadazTrade is the name of the chat room. So looking like a little bit of a support hold here. Dip to 374 on IFOM, so holding above that 365, 364 level. Good sign on IFOM, good bids at 380. So the uptrend still intact. So still looking for that $4 break. We might get it maybe right before the market open. Still got 18 and a half minutes to go. So more than enough time for this thing to break $4. But definitely overall noticeably a little bit less active today pre-market in comparison to yesterday and Monday. So like I said, completely prepared to adapt to any market conditions today, including a slower one. So as traders, definitely have to adapt to what the market conditions are. So if it's a slow day, you gotta take things easy, lighten up on the trades. But hopefully, definitely I wouldn't want that to be the case. Seeing how the week has been pretty good so far. Alright, so did I draw the support and resistance lines myself? Yes, absolutely. Because obviously if you can find some sort of software that can draw support and resistance lines, well, I mean, that's pretty much like using aimbot in first-person shooter games or map hacks in real-time strategy games, because that's just, I mean, that's technical analysis. That's something that you have to learn on your own and apply on your own, so there's no hacks for that. But definitely if you guys want to learn how to do that, there's an article that's for free on my website. It's pretty simple actually. You just click on this icon and then you just click on price level and you just draw the line. You edit properties, change the color and style and whatnot. So that's all it really is. Again, guys, if you want to ask a question, make sure you're in the right room, the WatchMadazTrade room, not the other rooms. I am wearing glasses, but having 4 eyes is definitely not enough to pay attention to everywhere. So make sure you ask all your questions in one spot, guys. Alright, so question, how many monitors do I use? Currently I use 4 monitors because that's the maximum amount of monitors that my graphics card, which I'm using a GeForce GTX 660, can support. My main screen is 27 inches and my 3 other screens are 24 inches. And those of you that are saying that you can't afford that many monitors, I mean seriously, I mean Black Friday is coming up. One of my monitors I got for free from work. One of my monitors, my 27 inch, I got for 150 bucks off of Best Buy on Black Friday, and my other two 24 inches, I got them off of Staples, I think, on Black Friday for $74 each. So really, definitely get 3 or 4 monitors, very useful. And with Black Friday coming up, they're going to be dirt cheap. And with this 4K stuff coming out, 1080p monitors are going to be so cheap. I mean, you'll probably get them easily all for like 70 bucks. So definitely get yourself 3 or 4 monitors, highly recommended. Able to watch up to 16 stocks at the same time, 4 stocks per screen as you see right now. You're looking at my main screen, but I have 3 other screens with a similar setup for my side watches and the chat room. Question, do I use fundamental analysis? Very rarely do I do that, but the fundamental analysis that I do use would be share structure and knowing if the company directors or employees or CEO have been dumping shares, so dilution, because these are facts that will adversely affect the performance of the stock. So those are the things I would look for in maybe an 8K or something, but more often than not, usually I just rely on technical analysis. But for the BABA IPO, which is coming up this Friday, definitely fundamental analysis is all you can use to study that. So a lot of people are looking at share structure, you know, how much money they got and stuff like that. So in situations like that, you have to use fundamental analysis, but in most cases, I just stick to technical. How much time after hours do I put into work for the next day? So when I first started off, it took me maybe 1 to 2 hours to prepare, but obviously as time goes on, you get better at condensing things and cutting out some of the stuff you don't really need to do and figuring out what you need to focus on. So now I can probably get ready in maybe 15 to 30 minutes. Do I think that it'll be as good as the hype? BABA. So BABA IPO, I've said this a lot to my existing subscribers. Basically, I have pretty much no expectations for it because there's really no way to predict what's going to happen. You know, it's you don't have a crystal ball here exactly, but definitely the BABA IPO is a very, very high float stock. They're offering 330 million shares, and I think their share structure is over 2 billion shares, comparable to that of Facebook. So if you guys are familiar with how Facebook trades, it's a very thickly traded stock with a tight spread. And if you do remember how Facebook performed on its IPO day, it wasn't exactly the best thing in the world. So that raises a concern to me of how it's going to trade. So I'm not really expecting anything crazy. For the most part, I'm probably going to be playing small, maybe 1,000 shares tops, but probably maybe 500 shares or less. But definitely the BABA IPO is something that is overhyped, so maybe it will run on the hype, who knows. They recently had to just raise their pricing from 60 to 66 to 66 to 68. So maybe it'll gap up, but you don't know if it's going to fade off the gap up or whatever. So don't expect anything. Trade the stock reactively. Wait for the stock to show its hand first, see how it trades, and then afterwards trade accordingly to the levels that's showing you. But in terms of the BABA IPO itself, definitely is a thickly traded stock. Yahoo has a large stake in it, so they're going to be selling shares, so there's going to be institutions selling. You don't know for sure, so right now I'm not going to really formulate some sort of expectations for it, because more often than not it's probably not going to that's not going to be the case. But there's pros and cons. IPOs have been hot, so you never know. So I'm just going to pretty much wait for it to come out and play it by ear. Yep, NETE, nice pop. Shout out to Brian Welsh for pointing that out. Apple Pay integration. So now we have a new play here. NETE, solid. Nice little rip here from 250 to 4s. Stock's been taking a beating the past couple days, so it's definitely due for some sort of move like this. So let's go ahead and look at the levels really quick on NETE. Stock's been taking a beating, high from the last couple of days, 580. So stock broke out this 340 level, pretty much just took off. So resistance here that should act as support around $4, 385. $4.25 looks like. Well, 435 is the high on this little wick right here. Targeting maybe 450s. $5. 515, around 540, 560, 582. So targeting 550s and then $5 on NETE, and after that we can target maybe 540s, which is the peak here from the pre-market from a couple of days ago. And then 540 and then the high at 580s. Looking like a 4 hold 410s on that low. Curious to see what it does at the open with less than 4 minutes to go. Also want to point out there are a couple of IPOs scheduled for today. They're all biotech stocks, so I don't really think anything crazy is going to happen. The most recent IPOs have been non-biotech companies. You know, think NBLY, Loco, and GPRO. RBIO is one that is coming out today. CIVI and TKAI, 3 IPOs coming out today. So a little bit of a dip here on NETE, back to $4. A little bit of a pop on OTIV as well. NETE now below $4 for a second. IFON looking double topish against $4 now. Do I trade live every day? Yes, pretty much, unless otherwise stated. So NETE trying to hold on to $4 as support here. A little bit of a struggle, it seems. It's met with a lot of sellers at the moment. There we go. Looks like $4 sellers kind of laying off a little bit. So should be an interesting one. NETE at the open. The stock's been taking a beating the past couple of days, as you guys saw, from 575 all the way down to 255. So this stock lost well over half of its value in the last 3 days. So definitely due for a short squeeze, and definitely this kind of news could be the catalyst for that. It already made a move from 250 to 440. So brief summary of what my plan at the open is. Like I said, we'll watch for the stock with the biggest price action, the biggest volume relative to how it's been trading in the past. Obviously the stock with the biggest momentum. So volume, momentum, price action usually spells opportunity for me. So I'm going to look for the stock with the biggest washout, probably biggest dip, and go long into that. So if you guys aren't familiar with that strategy of mine, so definitely go watch the YouTube videos where I demonstrate where I wait for a stock with the biggest washout, get in long, and then sell the immediate pop for a quick gain. So that's usually my plan at the open. Try to nail the opening trades, because that's usually where most of the money is made. Alright, the market is open. So let's just see what happens here. Pretty low volume on RWLK and ETE. Still a little bit of a struggle around $4. RWLK low volume, so there is still a little bit of a washout, so I might still play this. No fill on that dip. Yeah, the volumes are low on RWLK, so it's tough to get filled this time around. But that's the idea. Waited for that washout, try to get in. NET still looking a little bit tough. 1 million shares sold at the open. Bouncing a little bit back over 4. Just giving it a second to see what it wants to do here. IFON is fading as well. AVNR trading very low volume as well. So like I said, be prepared for a slower day today if that's what it turns out to be. GPRO experiencing a nice pop as well, $68. So NET right now, the stock is just trading in a very tight range. Don't really like this kind of action. Very indecisive. GPRO a little bit of a dip. Could be an entry. Taking GPRO small here with his 250 shares off of that dip. Looking for a 68 pop. We'll sell into it. We'll get rid of it if it's 68 fails. Like I said, small position. Stop loss that low. $68 a little thick, so may look to sell if it doesn't break. Finger on the trigger. IFON looking kind of sour here. Some 68s print. Looking a little thick still though. Another shot at 68. Another nosedive at RWLK. NET staying below $4. NET still fading. Alright, may look to sell GPRO here. I sold it, 25 bucks profit. Trade got a little bit uneasy. Expected this thing to bounce back a lot more strong. So just took the money off the table for now. RWLK is taking a big nosedive right now, so look for an entry here. Again, small positions only. The stock is trading very low volume. 75,000 shares is very low compared to yesterday. IFON continuing to fade. AVNR, a little bit of a nosedive. Nasty reject off of 12, dropping to 1160. Also on pretty low volume as well. Also watching GPRO for a possible 68 break. Volume has tapered off after a very promising first candle, making the trade a little bit uneasy, which is why I exited the position for the 25 bucks. NETE still struggling. Two nasty red sell candles at the open, and trying to bounce here a little bit off of this 364, 370 level, but the volume is still pretty low. Nice little bounce on RWLK. Again, the lower volume making it really difficult to get filled on it today. But definitely any more washouts like this will try to get filled again. It's a quick couple bucks with a couple hundred shares. So a small position can get you a nice little gain there. GPRO now testing 68 again, so looking for that. IFON starting to look not good. Well, it already has been looking not good, but now it's breaking to more lows, 355s. Definitely this is not good for the long side. Still looking like a double topish from the pre-market. Double topish chart. Fading down to 350 now probably. GPRO still having trouble with 68. RWLK still dropping. SPY is flirting with 201, about 10 cents away from it. So right now, don't really see any solid setups, so refraining from forcing any trades. Like I said, there was a chance it was going to be a slower day today, so adapting to that environment at the moment. RWLK trying to build a base here around 35 bucks. But overall trading in a $3 range. Stock is used to trading in a much bigger range. So definitely RWLK phasing out as a play here. GPRO now looking like a hard reject. 68, 3 consecutive candles, unable to break it. Now it's fading. NETE, let's see how it behaves here around 4 bucks. So readjust that line to 360, $4 print. Don't like how the green volume is significantly lower than the red selling volume at the open. So this could be a reshort. But looking like a nice pop here, nice bids. Stays over 4, could be good for longs again. Stays under 4, then obviously a more bearish perspective will be taken. Right now, some nice bids at 4 bucks on NETE. Yeah, looking like another 4 reject. So a lower high right there. So looking to short NETE, we can retest that $4 level to confirm that it will stay under there. That was a pretty hard reject. The green volume simply wasn't there compared to the red volume. It's very small. It's unable to regain even 390 at the moment. Be careful with IFON here, going below 350. Oh yeah, the CIVI IPO has come out. Other IPOs, like I said, RBIOC and TKAI. So there you go, nasty 4 reject of NETE, making new lows. Unfortunately didn't get a chance to re-short because it didn't backtest for a second time, but really nasty pullback here. If 350s don't hold, this thing has a long way down to $3. A little bit of a nosedive here on GPRO. Could be a nice dip. Well, overall it wasn't really that big of a dip really. It just dipped about 60 cents. MBOY just got a nice random pop, $52. So CIVI now phasing out as a play. So like I said, these biotech IPOs usually don't get as much action as some of the other ones. All the good IPOs have been non-biotechs. Alright, looking for the next washout here on RWLK. Low 38.28, 34.28 rather. Support level is pretty much 33.3s and 32s. NETE, nice little pop, a big ask. So again, the other IPOs, RBIO and TKAI, for those of you that are interested. Seeing if RWLK will wash out here. There we go. IFOM is definitely still in a downtrend. Not that big of a washout in RWLK, so risk reward not really there. Didn't attempt to get in. Looking for a washout maybe toward the low 33s or even 32s, or just support from yesterday. Alright, watching for NETE for maybe a lower high again. There is a big ask at 372, which is getting taken out. But yeah, definitely a lot of selling on this thing. Look at that. That's just nasty. Now you're getting a chance to jump in on the shorts because it's just going down so fast. Dropped from 370 to 340s in a matter of seconds. So new lows. Try to get another short on this. This thing is just taking a beating. Waiting for the next pop. Be careful, there is a lot of manipulation on the NET level 2, a lot of big bids and asks randomly show up. Alright, got some short at 51. 500 shares, sizing into the position. We'll cover into a wash. Low date 343. So no low day wash, we'll get out, even if it's for chump change. IFON can still continuing to fade. If it doesn't get below 350 here, we'll just take it off the table. Again, looking for a low day flush. We'll cover it into the flush. So pretty much stop out will be 353 and cover will be on the 343 flush, which it's near. Here we go. Looking for a 340 now. Low 340 vicious flush will cover it. Not really flushing. So could be signs of a bottom. Giving it maybe just a couple more minutes. Yeah, alright, so just going to cover it out at 47, 20 bucks. So small gain. Maybe could have held it a little bit longer, but felt a little bit uneasy as we saw two consecutive candles that didn't really flush below 340. Did make a new low, but only did so by 2 cents. So that made me feel uneasy. If you look at NET, every time it's gone down, it's flushed pretty violently when it broke through lows. So that didn't happen that time. So it only made a new low by 2 cents. IFOM also looking like it's trying to base out here at the support level at 330, which was the pretty much near the close from yesterday. So this could start to see this a slow grind bounce on lower volume, maybe back to 350 or 365. Also NET will revisit on the 340 flush. It's looking like it's basing out a little bit too on the chart. If you look at the chart, it's kind of basing out a little bit. 3 consecutive candles not going below the lows. So exited my short position there just to make sure I didn't get caught in maybe a little bit of a squeeze here. Looking like it's the right decision so far. So if you're looking to go long, which I'm probably not going to do so for this stock because it just doesn't have enough risk reward, here would be the place to do it as the chart is bottoming out. So this is a chart setup. Same with IFON, as it is already starting to bounce. Bounced about 16 cents so far. So IFOM and NET both bouncing around the same time, 5 minutes from 10 a.m. Usually around the hour mark we get some sort of trend reversals more often than not, and we're getting some of that right now in NETE and IFON. SPY did print 201s a couple minutes ago, 10 minutes ago it seems. So the market looking pretty nice today. But overall, in terms of momentum plays, first these smaller cap stocks a little bit lackluster in comparison to yesterday. and Monday. So trading accordingly, smaller positions. So that cover on NET turned out to be a good call. Did recognize that the chart was bottoming out, didn't flush hard after the low day break. So we're getting a little bit of a bounce here on NETE. GPRO now cracking support. Still waiting for the other IPOs to come out. RBIO and TKAI. But definitely overall, NETE still not favoring the long side, because it just seems like the company or whoever is selling a lot of shares on this thing, stuffing every single bounce, and the red volume right here definitely illustrates that point very clearly, that there are a lot more sellers than buyers on this thing. So even though the chart looked good for a bounce, I didn't even bother taking it, because in the big picture here, it's just not looking good. Again, guys, more than happy to answer any questions, especially during times of lull like right now. So take advantage of it. Like I said, there's a difference between this trading service and other trading services is that you can ask me questions pretty much live on the fly, and definitely that is something you should take advantage of, so you can get the full experience here from the service. So again, NET looking for that 340 break to revisit for shorts. Want to see that flushing action again. Right now it's just kind of in no man's land here, trading in that 340 to 350, 360 range. IFON grinding its way back to that 360, 365 level. But if you look at the action so far, mainly a lot of grinding action, not much momentum, and definitely these are the kind of stocks that I kind of want to stay away from, the grinds, because when the stock is grinding like this, the trends become a little bit more unpredictable, especially on lower volume, where all it takes is for one big seller or one big buyer to kind of spike the stock huge in one direction or another. So be very careful when it's trading on lower volume. We got a lot of stocks trading below average volume right now. Why would you not buy and short for NETE and use a stop loss in case it does squeeze? Because right now, like I said, the chart looks like it's bottoming out, so it's not a good short entry level anyways. And number two, well, I mean, the stock has already downtrended from 440 down to 350, so that's already 90 cents. And also the volume is just too low right now. So I want to wait for volume to come back, interest to come back into the stock. I want to see like a nice little bounce to short, or a nice little flush of 340 that might probably bring volume back in to signify more further downside on this stock. So right now the reason why I'm staying away from not only NETE but any trades in general is because the volume is just simply too low. And if you guys don't understand that concept, I did make a video on YouTube explaining why do I stay away from stocks when they're trading on low volume. And by low volume I mean below average volume relative to where it was trading recently. As the NETE was trading million shares per 3 minutes. Now it's trading, you know, 1/4, 1/3 of that. So all it takes is for one, if you're short, all it takes is for one guy to put up a big bid and the stock pops 20, 25 cents, and you're not going to even get a chance to stop out. So I don't want to put myself in that position. It's not a good feeling to get your stock just going against you in like 1 second like that, and especially on NETE, which we've already seen manipulation today. We saw big bids and big asks earlier, you know, knocking it back down, knocking it up, knocking it back down. You know, you never know when that's going to randomly pop up and screw you over. So that's why, for the most part, when the stock is trading on low volume, I just stay away from it for now. You said that it's common for the hour trend changes, or is that just the first opening hour of the trading day? So definitely, it's not always the case, but that usually tends to be the case. And right now, that's why NETE is kind of experiencing a little bit of a reversal in its downtrend. But I would say it would be true as long as the stock has a lot of volume and it's very liquid, and has a lot of interest to it. It definitely holds true. That usually on the hour, or sometimes if you want to even narrow it down to 30 minutes or 15 minutes, because I guess a lot of people like to use 15-minute charts or 30-minute charts or hourly charts. That usually results in a reversal in the trend. It's definitely true in the morning. I guess I would say it's a little bit less true as the volume and liquidity decreases, but nonetheless I would still usually watch for time frames like that, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and the hour for trend changes. What would good volume be? So like I explained earlier, good volume is just volume that is greater than average volume relative to where it's been trading. So NETE, I would draw maybe a volume criteria line right here, because the stock is capable of trading 1.3 million shares or greater than 1 million shares per 3 minutes. So if the stock trades anywhere close to that again, then I would say that the stock is trading with good liquidity and good momentum once again. But right now it's just trading with very low volume. Now we're getting a crack of low a day, so that's a good sign. Let's see if that brings back some volume closer to at least 1 million shares. So let's see, we could revisit a short now on NETE on a pop. So NETE is looking weak again. $3.15, the next little soft support, and then $3. But overall, not a big fan of stocks like NETE, as it just seems to grind a lot. So that tends to make the trade a little bit more nervy and gets you a little bit more anxious. So even though it cracked 340, it really only cracked by maybe, 8 cents. So volume is getting a little bit better now, closer to 1 million shares on this candle. So it's getting there again. So watching for any pops. AVNR just got a nice pop. Red to green move on AVNR, very impressive. Alright, looking to get short here on this pop on NETE. Short some at 340. Big bid at 337, watching that one. So like I said, big bids could screw it up. Stop out will be 345. Again, small position. AVNR still looking pretty solid. So there you go. Stop out. Defined risk level 345. So $25 risk here. Target will be new lows or at least 315, 320, and then $3. So I'll try to intraday swing this with a stop loss at 345. So a $25 is not that big of a deal off of 500 shares. AVNR new highs there, 1244. New high day on AVNR was only by 4 cents, so nothing really crazy there, but nice volume. Still low volume relative to where it was yesterday, but today, relatively speaking, that was pretty decent volume. Big bidders again at 338 on NETE. Again, 345 is my stop loss. Stock is already down $1 off the highs, so gotta have realistic expectations. But NET definitely a stock showing that it's capable of making a huge downtrend. If you look at the trend from a couple days ago, the stock just faded from 5 all the way down to 2s in one day. So it is capable of making that move. Giving it a chance here with a small position, high risk tolerance. But don't like so far that it's getting some bids. May have to stop out here. 345s get broken through. Some bids kind of creeping up. my big ask again, 345. So still holding on to the position for now as 345 did not break. $345 still a wall of sellers there. Again, unable to break it, so still hanging on to the position. Why do I use a 3-minute interval and not a 1 or 2 minute? Because I feel like 1 or 2 minutes has too much noise, and by noise I mean just random fluctuations on the chart. I feel like a 3-minute chart is a little bit more defined and a lot more cleaner, a lot more easier to see the trend. So, and that's why I use a 3-minute chart. I used to use a 1-minute chart, then I found out a 3-minute chart works a little bit better to see the trends. When you were looking for the NETE flush, were you expecting it to just collapse? Since it didn't, you got out. It was flushing because it broke its low. Correct? Yeah. So pretty much, I wanted to see it collapse, and when it made it a new low by just a couple of cents, I definitely took that as pretty much that didn't collapse, and I just got out of my position accordingly. You want to see a huge flush and then a nice follow through as well. So 345 now looking like stiff resistance. Pretty obvious hard stop loss there at 345 on my 340 shorts. So definitely we'll hold on to it for the next flush. We'll cover into the next flush. Hopefully it flushes all the way down to closer to $3. 312 is this little peak right here, so we could see some nice action there. Also NBLY right now is experiencing a little bit of a flush. 51's cracked, going down to 50.3, so 70-cent little dip there on NBLY, largest red volume of the day. Well, I have this webinar on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll go ahead and upload it as soon as I can later in the day. Again, still waiting for those 2 IPOs to come out, RBIO, TKAI. NBOI, like I said, is flushing right now on one of my side watches. AVNR kind of dying out now after that nice spike. Didn't really have much follow through. Volume really dying out now on NETE, so that might be another reason for me to just exit the position. As like I said, a big bid could just pop the stock randomly, like 10-20 cents, and could screw me over. So looking to see if this thing can get some volume back. But right now it's pretty low volume again. more lows on RWLK. But not a new low by much. So if we have an account with $5,000, can we avoid pattern day trading and do more than 3 trades a week? Definitely, there are a lot of ways around it. You could join SureTrader. You could join a prop firm. We're also partnered with a broker that can give you some funding and bypass PDT as well. So if you want more information, send me an email. Max@WatchMadazTrade.com. You could also break your accounts into multiple accounts. So you can get 3-day trades per account. So there are lots of ways around it. But definitely if you're interested in finding out more information, send me an email, Max@WatchMadazTrade.com. We are partnered with a broker that can help you bypass PDT. Alright, so going to stop out here of NETE shorts. Trying to get filled at 45. Just going to stop out here. Trying to get, alright, stopped out at 48. Couldn't get filled at 45, so it is breaking out of that channel. So had to respect the stop there. Took about a $40 loss, but you know, like I said, not a big deal. It was a small position. Breaking out a little bit, low volume, so alright, so still waiting on those IPOs. There's a big ask at 350 on NETE. Again, with the volume this low, big bids and big ask manipulation on the level 2 is going to screw with the trading on the stock. So for the most part, I'm just going to stay away from it until the volume picks up again, closer to this line that you see, around 1 million shares, 1.3 million shares or so. Alright, so TKAI IPO is getting ready. Thanks to Ernie for pointing that out. So the level 2 starting to show up a little bit, some market makers showing up. Definitely the stock is probably not going to open at $45 or $1, but good to see some market makers getting ready. So the IPO probably should come out within the next couple minutes or so, priced at around $13 to $15, ultra low float, 5.4 million shares being offered. So it looks like NET is taking out that 350 ask. So that was pretty much a good stop out on my part at this point. Wish I just reacted a little bit sooner and got 345s filled, but still had to respect the stop loss in the end. Too much of a grinding price action right now. In general in the market, a lot of things are kind of trading a little bit slow. AVNR is making an attempt at breaking to the highs. RADA got a nice little pop from 270 to 3s just a couple moments ago. New highs on AVNR. Nice little pop here on AVNR. 1250s. We'll look for a back test of maybe around 1240s for an entry, that previous high. There we go, nice little washout there. Couldn't react fast enough. Alright, got in at 43s. Looking for a little bit of a bounce. 500 shares, small position. Looking for a 1250 break or reject. We'll sell. A little bit of a washout here. We'll sell now if it can't break over 45s. The big seller at 44 is still there. Alright, there you go. So we'll sell a 50 reject. Looking like can't even get to 47 at the moment. Do I use a scanner like equity feed or built-in scanner like in TOS? So for now I'm using the TOS scanner, but we'll probably switch to equity feed pretty soon. It is a pretty powerful scanner. I've seen what it can do. For my stop loss in NETE, did I wait until I broke 345 and then got out, or did I have an order to be filled? I always have the order ready but not entered in. If you see the order entered in, it would show up on my screen right here in this little box that I'm moving my cursor over. So you'll see all my orders live. But if you don't see it there, that means I just have it ready, but I just haven't clicked the button. So I usually don't click the button just in case, and maybe if I have to change my order, I don't have to take an extra step and cancel the order. I just do it really quick and just punch in the order and just have it ready to be executed, but I don't actually have the order in the event that I have to change the order for whatever reason. I don't have to cancel it and put in a new order. So I exited my position at AVNR there as I was answering that question. Felt really uneasy about it not moving back toward 1250. So just got rid of it at 1245 for a small profit. So right now, like I said, isn't exactly the kind of stocks that I'm usually, these aren't my favorite type of stocks to trade, just because they're just trading a little bit too slow. If you guys know me, I'm more of a momentum trader. So right now, it's trading a little bit too slow, too much grinding price action, too much manipulation on the level 2 on these low volume stocks like NETE. So kind of just taking it easy, like I said, on a slower day, just play with smaller positions and just take it easy and wait for setups to come to me as opposed to forcing setups that aren't there. So right now I'm just waiting patiently to see if there's any good setups. And right now, of course, waiting for the TKAI IPO to come out. Do I use limit alerts that I preset? I use equity feed limit alerts. Hold on, I'll hold off on that question for a second. The TKAI IPO has just opened, 18.6. So remember, this thing was priced between 13 and 15, so it's gapped up pretty nicely here. So let's see what it wants to do. Nasty pullback. See if 18s hold. So 18.12 looking like the support so far on TKAI. Was looking for a clean 18 whole number back test, didn't quite get it. So nice bounce off of that level right here. $20. Nice move here on TKAI. Cheaped out on the entry a little bit. Was waiting for 18 flat. Wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to flush below 18 and drop to 17. So missed out on this entry here. Bottom was 18.12. Stock's making a pretty nice move. Looking for a next dip to get in here. Maybe 20 bucks or 1950s would be nice. Stock was priced at $13.15 for the IPO. It's already made a move all the way up to 21. So it looks like they're getting their money's worth here. $22. So the stock is now halted because it's made a move more than 10% in a short period of time. Just give this thing a second for it to kind of take a little breather. And if you guys do recall the RWLK IPO, the times after it halted, it dropped, had a pretty substantial dip, so this could be a nice entry if it dips really hard right out of this, right when it resumes. So watching for that. $19.50s to 20 would be the levels for a dip entry. Going to be playing TKAI with small position, just 250 shares. It is very volatile. Lower float IPO. Level 2 kind of all over the place at the moment. Alright, so NET looking like a hard reject of 360. So it could be a reshort again. Then get some shorts. Short sale restriction is on, so it's hard to get filled. Really don't want to chase it down this much. That high was 364. Yeah, couldn't get filled there on NET shorts, unfortunately. 360 reject. Short sale restriction is on, meaning you can't short via bid whacking. Can only get filled on the ask, making it difficult to get filled. Couldn't get filled there on the NET shorts, unfortunately. Still waiting for the TKAI IPO to resume trading. Circuit breaker halts. And there we go. Looking for a washout for an entry. No washout. There was a big bid at 21.5. Still see it right there. Getting whacked at a little bit. Stock kind of all over the place. It's looking like no washout so far. Still waiting on that dip. Definitely not going to chase this thing up. But this thing is going nuts here. 24 bucks. $6 move off the lows. Breaking 24 now. $25 without a dip here. Could be RWLK Part 2. Looks like they're really trying hard to support the bids here. Look at all these whacks at 25.04 and the stock's not tanking. And the stock is now halted again. So some pretty epic stuff going on. Meanwhile, NETE has faded back down, so you guys managed to fill some shorts yourselves. Nice on the short. But like I said, I couldn't get filled in the 350s. NET trading in a range between 335 and 365 pretty much. Still, again, not really breaking through the lows. So could end up just trading sideways for the rest of the day, NET, with the volume just tapering off. So RWLK on Friday went from 11 to 30 bucks. This one so far has gone from 18 to 25 in just 6 minutes. Alright, so just waiting for TKAI to resume trading here, as pretty much not much going on elsewhere in terms of good setups. A little bit of a perk here in AVNR, but still too tight of a range. Alright, trading resumed. Another cap up on TKAI. Can you believe this thing? Alright, long sum. A little bit risky. Small position. Selling it here. 26.5 out. 25.7 in. Just made a quick 200 bucks. That was a little bit playing with fire there, so that's why I only did 250 shares. 28s now though. This thing could dump at any time. It's going to be extremely risky when it does. So if you guys are doing this, I would probably recommend 250 shares or less even. Propping 28.38 here again. What are they doing? So much manipulation right here. Reminds me of Facebook when they were trying to hold 40 bucks. And it's halted again. Can you believe that? So the last time it halted, they were holding the bid with an unlimited wall of shares, and this time around it's halted again on the same exact thing. And you saw those massive prints at 28.38, and they weren't knocking down the bids, looking like they were propping it up artificially or something, or it's just I don't know, they're testing some sort of new algorithm or something, but that was pretty crazy. 2 times in a row the stock has halted on volatility circuit breaker halts, and both times we saw the bid wall just not going away. This time at 28.38, I think the last time it was at 25.04, but that was just pretty sick. The stock has gone from 18 to 28 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes without a major dip. So whenever this major dip does occur, it should be a nice one. 25 the first support, 21.5 the next support, maybe a support in between here around 23.8, 23.9. Again, we'll be playing with a small position, and it is pretty risky. TKMR got a nice little spike, probably on news or something like that. An old former runner. Popping about 50 cents there. Nice volume. Not really sure the reasoning for this. So again, just waiting for TKAI to resume. Still got one more IPO on tap for today, RBIO, although I'm hearing rumors that is getting delayed for whatever reason. But on the official NASDAQ website still says 9/17/2014. So still watching for the opening of RBIO. TKMR new high of day 21.19. New high of day on AVNR as well, 12.62. New high of day in AVNR, 12.66. Resumed on TKAI. $30 printed. It's got to have a dip at some point. Still holding up. Right, could see our first dip here. Not quite. They scored the bid at 28.5. Still not big enough of a dip for me to get in. This thing is ran from 18 to 30. Just looking to see if that 28.5 bid wall gets taken out. And here we go. Taken out for a second. Didn't flush through it. Still trying to prop it up here at 28.5. Could be risky, but it could be a nice long here. Alright, long 100 shares only. Very risky. Needs to get over 29 or I'm out. Big seller. Big seller starting to show up. So we're getting a little bit of a washout now. We'll add to the position here on this washout. Added some longs. Still some big sellers. And the stock is now halted. So holding currently 350 shares at a 26.8 average. Like I said, this thing's pretty risky, so play with smaller positions. Let's see where this thing reopens. $30 the top so far. 25 the next support level. Nice little wash from pretty much from 28 down to 26. New high of day on AVNR. New highs again on AVNR 1276. All the stops are mental stops. I usually don't use hard stop orders just because they're basically market orders. All right, trading resumed. A little bit more of a washout. Trying to get some more shares. So got 600 shares now. 26.15 average. Looking for a little bit of a bounce here. Stock is bouncing off of that 25 support level. Alright, there we go. There's the bounce. Selling 26.50. If you can get there, filled. $207 profit. So just turn a possible bad trade there into a profit. So mistimed that first entry. That's why I only did 100 shares. It was a risky entry. So it was a very, very small position, beginning 100 shares, and then got a couple more shares on the next dips. And 25, the support line that I drew, turned out to be the support. So bought more there, had 600 shares total, and just got rid of it at 26.5. Looking like it's kind of toppy here against 27 anyway. So good sell, good add on that 25 hold, good sell. So right now it's stuck in the 25 to 27 range. That's kind of tight for a stock of this share structure. So going to see what it wants to do here. Does it want to go up? Does it want to go down? Not really sure at the moment. It's going to sit on the sidelines. But so far on this relatively slow day, up about 418 bucks. You know, not exactly the kind of profits I put in the past couple of days, but on a slow day like this, more than happy to be in the green. So right now, trying to build a base here around 25 bucks is TKAI. So it might break back to the long side. Let's just see. 26.89, that high on this candle, 26.8. So basically $27 is the level that it has to break. Looking a little bit tough at the moment, volume tapering off. Could just end up going sideways. Yeah, looking a little bit tough here. So the only way for me to consider trading this again is if it breaks out of 27, or if it flushes below 25 and tanks to maybe 21.5 or at least 23s for another nice dip and bounce play. But for now, it's kind of trading in no man's land, so no trade on TKAI. RWLK flirting with the lows again. NETE kind of trading in no man's land as well, as we are after 11 a.m. So that's usually when the stocks tend to slow down. So I'm not surprised at the lull in several of these stocks, especially the stocks that were active this morning. AVNR, another little fade off the highs that it's been doing the entire day. Yeah, it looks like the interest is kind of disappearing on TKAI for now. Trading only 16,000 shares so far in this candle. Alright, looking for a 25 flush here maybe. $24s now. Not exactly a flush though. Still hanging around 25 bucks. So looking like a 25 hold on TKAI, confirming this little channel between 25 and 27, so pretty much no trade. I think the easy trades are over on TKAI. Got a little bit of a nice little move here, but this thing is no RWLK. That was pretty much pretty epic fireworks show on Friday, but today got a little bit of a tease here, but now kind of leveling off. Volume kind of tapering. Alright guys, so things are starting to taper off a little bit. So I'm going to start taking it easy here. Probably going to end the session within the next couple minutes. So that being said, go ahead and throw your questions my way. Questions, comments, suggestions are more than welcome. And definitely it's been an awesome session. Good to see a lot of new faces around here. So definitely it's been really fun, and I'm actually going to be doing this again tomorrow, so if you guys want to sign up again for a second day, you're more than welcome to do so. We'll be posting the link in the chat room right now, and also the technical analysis session tonight, so check that out, where I go over charts and answer more of your questions, take chart requests, help people with their platforms, whatnot. So definitely I'm pretty free and liberal with what you guys want to ask me. If you guys want me to teach you or something, more than happy to do it for you guys. I've had people, ask me about platforms, ask me about brokers and stuff like that. A couple guys asked me about how to do their taxes, how to file your taxes as a trader, stuff like that. I've got a lot of experience in all that stuff, so more than happy to answer your questions live during these live trading sessions. The technical analysis sessions like the ones that I'm going to be holding this evening for free. I posted the link in the chat room, and if you guys can't reach me there, you're more than welcome to email me at max@watchmadaztrade.com. Again, the email is max@watchmadaztrade.com. So the technical analysis session is tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Again, the link is posted in the WatchMadazTrade chat room on Stockhaven, and I'm posting it also on the GoToWebinar for you guys to check it out as well. And also there is a survey at the conclusion of this session, so it should pop up. I would appreciate if you guys provided me with some feedback, what you like, what you didn't like, what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. I'm more than happy to take your feedback into consideration to make this service better for everyone in the future. Alright, so question: can we use the same link in the email today, or do we need to sign up again? You're going to need to sign up again. They're both two separate webinars, and they're both their own thing, so you're going to have to sign up again. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, I know, but it's only like 5 seconds. It's not going to kill you. So if you're a guy that has patience to sit in front of a trading desk all day and stare at charts and flashing red, green, and level 2 prints, you can probably sign up again. It takes less than 10 seconds. So yeah, sign up for the link again. The link for the technical analysis session tonight is also a separate link, so sign up for all of them separately. And definitely take advantage of the technical analysis sessions. I will recap the day today and go over chart setups for tomorrow, watch list, take chart requests, answer questions. Questions that are more detailed, I will answer them. A lot more easier for me to answer detailed question after hours as opposed to during market hours, as we got to have our eyes focused on the trading activity. So if you have any questions, more than happy to take them during the after hours session. Next question. Yes, NET did crack a new low, although it didn't crack by much, so not really jumping off my seat for this one. But Matt, do you and Kevin have any kind of deal where I want to subscribe to both WatchMadazTrade and Watch Him Trade? Yes, we do have that deal. Go ahead and send me an email and we will work things out with you there. Alright guys, so I'm going to throw in the last call for questions, as right now TKAI, the last momentum stock, kind of just going nowhere. AVNR kind of just trading sideways. NETE making a new low but not really flushing. So we're not really getting any solid momentum setups, just a lot of fake outs, fake breakdowns, fake breakouts, stocks going sideways. So that's definitely a definitive sign to not force any more trades. Take it easy. And in my case, since I'm on the West Coast, I haven't eaten breakfast, so I'm probably going to go out and cook a nice couple of cook some eggs and grab a bowl of cereal or oatmeal or something like that. But last call for questions. What is the lowest price stock that you will play? Do they need to be marginable for you? The lowest price stock I will play will probably be anything higher than a 000. So anything 001 and higher I will play. Do they need to be marginable? No, absolutely not. If you guys have followed me since the beginning of time, I used to be a specialist in penny stocks only, but as you've seen, the pennies market has kind of fizzled out with pretty much all the big promoters getting thrown in jail, including Eric Van, former APS promoter, sadly thrown in jail the past week, I believe. I think he was caught last Friday, so that kind of sucks. But since penny stocks kind of died out, kind of had to adjust my strategy to NASDAQ, so now I'm more comfortable trading with higher priced stocks. Pretty much it was something that I had to do to survive in the game. As traders, we got to be able to adapt to market conditions and be able to take advantage of any opportunities that are thrown at us. And since penny stocks have kind of fizzled out and most of the opportunities taking place in small caps, pretty much had to adjust my strategy accordingly, and been able to do just that. So didn't happen overnight. It took a couple months for me to figure it out, but eventually was able to successfully adapt my strategy. And currently, knock on wood, but today is my 19th green day in a row, and I'm up about $21,000 during that 19 days. So pretty much the strategy's been working out pretty well. I'm glad you guys were here to witness the strategy in full force live today. Pretty much this is the strategy has been my bread and butter for the past month. So hopefully you guys learned a thing or two. Hopefully you guys decide to stay on and learn some more. Definitely there's a lot more to learn than just what you saw today. It's just a taste of what I normally do. So definitely good questions being asked. Good to see. That means you guys are paying attention. You guys are learning, and it also means I'm learning as well. It's good. It's refreshing for me to answer these questions, to refresh my knowledge, to make sure that everything's still working up there. So it's good to see. Am I still a student attending Cal State Long Beach? No, I dropped out of my master's program about a year ago. Although I'm technically still registered as a student there. I still only have 2 quarters left. Really kind of want to finish it because I'm maintaining a 3.8 GPA, but you know what? I mean, what's the point of getting a college degree if I'm, you know, making 20 G's a month doing this, right? All right, yeah, definitely hope the pumpers come back, but you know, at this rate, if you're a pumper, you gotta be scared if you're seeing every single penny stock promoter thrown in jail. So Mike Stadler from Stock Tips, he's kind of scared, I'm pretty sure. How much capital did you have when you decided to go full-time trading? Well, I really don't want to reveal that information, but I will let you know that it is a 6-digit number. Rule of thumb, for me, I would say don't go by the number, like a dollar amount, but go by how many times your annual salary that you've saved up. So I think the rule of thumb is people like to say, you know, 2 to 3 years of your annual salary saved up for trading capital, so you can kind of survive off of in case something goes wrong. But for me personally, I actually waited for 6 times my annual income as an engineer when I was still working. So for me, that's where I felt like it was pretty comfortable for me to quit my job and go full time as a trader. Alright guys, so any other questions? Really good questions being asked. At this point, I'm probably not going to be executing any more trades, so I'm more than happy to answer some more detailed questions. And like I said, I'm pretty open to any kind of questions you guys want to ask me, as I want to make this a very free and easy learning environment for everyone, also for myself. I want everyone to be comfortable, I want everybody to have fun as they learn. And you know, some of these other trading services out there that I've witnessed, they're pretty static and they're pretty boring for the most part. It's usually the mods throwing out alerts here and there, and people just try to follow and hope they don't get dumped on by the guys that front-loaded those shares. But this is not what this service is about at all. It's not about alerts. It's about actually learning how to trade and becoming self-sufficient eventually, and becoming better versions of yourselves. You know, I don't want you guys to try to copy me. I don't want you guys to try to mimic my style or whatever, because everyone is different. Everyone is, you know, living under different conditions, different circumstances, different scenarios, so you can't really mimic somebody and expect your results to match theirs one-to-one. So I want you guys to kind of pick out some of these little things here and there and integrate it into your own strategy and become better versions of yourselves. And that's basically the goal of this service, so that you guys can learn to trade and make your own decisions. How often do I buy or sell in pre-market or aftermarket? What are the main reasons? So I usually don't end up selling pre-market for the reason that I rarely hold stocks overnight. If you guys know me, holding overnight is one of my pet peeves. As you know, holding stocks overnight, you don't know what's going to happen. You could get dumped on because of bad news or something. So as a result, I don't put myself in a situation where I have to sell pre-market that often, unless I find something that's very appealing. Especially since the West Coast pre-market starts at 4 a.m. and like most people, I do value my sleep. You know, I'm only 26 years old, don't want to end up with a head full of gray hair, so I really want to sleep in and get a nice good night's worth of rest. In terms of buying pre-market, if I see a nice little washout pre-market, occasionally I will buy it, but more often than not, I want to avoid the pre-market ECN fees and just wait for them open. In terms of selling after hours, this is something that I do a little bit more often. If there's a really nice move after hours, a couple weeks ago we got a couple nice low floats that ran after hours. Don't remember the tickers, but there were a couple of stocks that popped like $1 after hours. That would be a kind of move where I want to sell and take advantage of, and do just that. Take a quick $1 profit after hours. That's a lot of money, so I would often do that. Also on earnings, sometimes I would scalp earnings after hours, which I don't recommend to do if you're not a sufficiently good trader. It's very difficult. I reckon it to like the wild west, so I'd stay away. But earnings is sometimes I trade after hours with small positions, maybe like 100 shares or something, in and out for after hours. But usually most of my trades, I would say 99% of my trades are executed during normal hours. Alright, so what is my opinion on the Alibaba IPO? Did point this out that Alibaba is a very thickly traded stock. 2 billion outstanding shares, pretty much the same share structure as Facebook, so expect a thickly traded stock. So a couple things going for it. IPOs have been hot. There is a lot of hype. Chinese stocks have been up as well. So, it could just very well ride the IPO hype and make a nice move. Who knows? But a couple things that are going against it. The big share structure. It is trying to launch the largest IPO in U.S. history, trying to raise $25 billion, I believe. 330,000 shares are going to be sold in the IPO. Yahoo, I believe, has a 16% stake. They're obligated to sell a percentage of that. I don't know what percent. I don't think they're going to reveal it, but they're obligated to sell some of their position. A couple of other institutions they're going to sell as well. The CEO is going to sell some of his shares. So it pretty much is a coin flip at this point. I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to trade reactively to the IPO. I'm not going to formulate any sort of preconceived assumptions on it. I'm going to assume nothing and pretty much gauge the stock and how it trades at the open, and pretty much trade it how I traded TKAI today. Just let the move happen initially and wait for a dip, wait for a defined support level, wait for a defined risk level to play off of, and pretty much same strategy. Technical analysis, support and resistance, volume, price action, and trade it reactively. Don't assume anything. Don't blindly buy at the open, assuming that's going to go up. As you all know, if you did that with Facebook, gotten in at 42 at the open, you would have gotten screwed for the rest of the day. So don't assume anything. Just trade reactively. That would be my advice on the Baba IPO. What is my biggest gain in one play? My biggest gain in one play was on FNMA earlier this year, $43,000 on one of the plays. TAPM, a little bit of a low volume, so not really entirely interested in it, but slow grinder on low volume if you guys are into that kind of stock. Do you usually go in with small order size and then add as it goes in the direction you planned? What is your target price before you get out? 10, 20, 30 cents. So it varies. So basically, if I am comfortable with the entry, with the price that I'm getting in at, so maybe the stock washes out, makes a huge dip, I could probably go in with my full size already right on that dip if I know that that is a very key level of support. For example, if TKAI washed out from 30 all the way down to 21.5 in one hit, 21.5 is a pretty important support level. I would probably be pretty comfortable going in with a full size position, knowing that the risk reward is very, very high off of that $9 fade. Good chance that's going to probably bounce $4 or $5. So I would be very comfortable going in full size on that entry. The times where you see me kind of average in is when it's a little bit more uncertain. There's a little higher degree of uncertainty. You don't know whether or not it's actually going to bounce off of that level. The dip wasn't that big. The stock, for example, in TKI, you saw me only buy 100 shares. That was only $2,800 principal when it dipped from 30 down to 28, because I wasn't entirely sure that it was going to hold that level, and that's exactly what happened. It didn't, and then it dipped a little bit more to 26, got 250 shares, and then it dipped to 25. I knew it was going to bounce from 25 because 25 was where it dipped right here. So 25 was pretty much a must hold, or else this thing was going to drop down substantially lower. So I figured it would bounce off of 25, so I did my last ad at 25, 250 shares. and had 600 shares and sold the immediate pop. So when is my sell target? Usually what I do is I wait for a pop above a key resistance level, and usually when it does that, it usually pops like a nice 20-30 cents. And on a stock like TKAI, which is a low float, it popped 50 cents, 50, 60 cents. Usually I take advantage of the spread and just take the money off the table. I don't want to risk a chance of it getting knocked back down. Usually I see a pop like that, I usually just get rid of it right away. So 25, it popped over that 26 level that I was looking for, and then it got a nice little 50-cent bonus on top of that, and I just got rid of it at 26.5. You guys saw the trade happen live, so the video will be posted again later, so if you want to review that trade, you can do that later, but that's pretty much what I did. Identified the level of support, which was around 25, and looked for a 26 pop, and then it popped 26, got a nice little bonus on top of that 50 cents, and sold into that. Alright guys, so AVNR is breaking below that support level around 1250, so not looking good now. Looking like 7 of the last 8 candles have been red, so not looking good there. But anyways, any other questions, guys? Really good questions. Really good to see you guys are actively asking a lot of good questions, and not just sitting in front of the computer and just staring into Never Never Land. TKAI now fading a little bit more. Not really fading that much. Want to see this thing like dip really hard down to 21.5 for a play. Right now it's just kind of slowly dying on lower volume. Just gonna watch it to see if it does flush. There's maybe a soft support here around 23.5 that it could bounce off of. Not going to play a bounce there because it's pretty much that previous low was at 24.5, so that's only like a $1 range. Not going to really play that. Alright guys, so any other questions? So the key support lines would be the previous lows. Pretty much where the stock back tested, or I mean just tested in general. You see right here, 21.4 was the level that TKAI tested twice on these two candles. So that's where the supports would be. So basically, you know what a support is. A support is where, it's basic economics, right? Supply and demand. Support is where demand exceeds supply, and resistance is where supply exceeds demand. So basically at 21.4 we got the stock testing 21.4 twice, not breaking below it. That means there is solid demand at 21.4 for this stock at this time. So that means that there should be demand again exceeding supply when the stock hits that price level again. And if supply exceeds demand, then the stock is probably going to go lower. So that's basically all it is. So right now the stock is grinding down lower, below 23. So like I said, looking for a dip maybe to 21.5, 21.4. Could bounce off of 23, which is a whole number. But like I said, not really much of a good risk reward setup on these low floats for these things to have only a $1.50 range here. The previous bottom end of that channel, 24.5. So not going to try to play this bounce. Not enough risk reward. TKAI moved up too fast. We knew it was going to pull back. Well, that's what they said about RWLK, and it never pulled back, so... You know, it's a stock market, you know, nothing really makes sense. Sometimes stock just goes up forever, sometimes it just goes down forever. But right now what I do see is that the stock is not really providing a good risk-reward setup, as it didn't really flush that hard below that bottom end of that channel at 24.5. Hence why you didn't see me attempt to play this bounce at 23 bucks. Although theoretically could have made some money, maybe 50 cents per share. Didn't like the risk-reward setup there, as it could have theoretically tanked to 21.5 in exchange for only a bounce to 24 something. So not a good risk-reward setup, so I didn't take it. And indeed, just that, it's kind of hanging around here, not really getting back above 24 even. Alright guys, so any other questions? Again guys, would appreciate if you guys filled out the survey at the conclusion of this session. Comments, suggestions, or anything like of that nature are very much appreciated, so I can make this session a much better experience for everyone in the future. But so far I'm really glad to know that you guys are actively participating. Definitely, like I said, this special part of this service and how it differentiates itself from the other services out there is that you can ask me questions live on the fly and interact with me, ask for my opinions, and usually I answer them in a very timely manner. I try my best to, as long as I'm not in a trade. So definitely take advantage of that. That's a very key feature of this service. It's not about alerts, you know, it's about learning how to trade. So definitely keep asking those questions. More than happy to answer them. What are your scanner settings? Volume, blocks, social media. So basically volume and blocks are the key component of the scanner. Social media, obviously you can't really use you know, Twitter hits on a scanner, but definitely have a tweet deck open at all times on my side screen for my scanner settings. If you guys want to know, it's on my website. There's an article on how I set up my scanners. There's a video on my YouTube how I show how I set up my scanners when I used to use E-Trade Pro. So if you guys are using E-Trade Pro, set up my scanners for that as well. There's still a video on it. But definitely scanners, the most key component is volume. You want to set the volume criteria for it to pick up blocks and also irregular abnormal volume. So it doesn't matter which scanner you're using, equity feed, TOS, E-Trade Pro, what have you. There's always going to be some sort of volume criteria that you want to set up. So if a stock trades greater than, you know, X volume, or trades X times as many as an average daily volume, you want to pick that as a criteria. It'll help you pick out these runners that you see that we trade every day. And also you want to set the price parameters. You know, if you're comfortable trading stocks between $5 and $20, you might want to set that parameter in your scanner. So we saw a big ass there flash on the level 2 on TKAI, kind of knocking the stock down a little bit, but not really causing a flush. So pretty much interest has evaporated for now on TKAI. No opportunity there for either direction. Again guys, we'll be hosting the same session again for free tomorrow, and also the technical analysis session tonight at 9:30 Eastern. And again, the links are posted in the chat room. So sign up there if you guys want to check out another free day. Everybody likes free things, so no reason not to check it out. But definitely, hopefully you guys are getting the most out of today. Do you know where I can find the exact time of the IPOs? The IPOs usually don't list the time that it's going to come out, so your guess is as good as mine. If I knew that, I would have told you guys when these IPOs would be coming out, like TKAI, instead of having to just kind of stock them and kind of hawk around to see when it's going to come out. That's usually up to their discretion, but I could tell you that most IPOs tend to come out around 10:45-ish. For what I've been observing lately, that's when they usually like to come out. So let's just say between 10:30 and 11 o'clock, ballpark it. Usually that's when the IPOs typically come out, based on historical information. So nothing concrete, but we can kind of ballpark it. When entering, do you more often buy on the bid or at the ask price? I usually buy closer to the bid in the middle if it's a stock with a big spread. If it's a stock with a smaller spread, I just go ahead and just take the offer. Because, I mean, it makes sense, right? You don't want to hit the offer on a stock with a big spread, because why would you want to be down 50, 60 cents a share already right when you enter your position? That's not a good feeling. So what I try to do there is I try to enter a limit order in between the bid and the ask, closer to the bid, try to cheat a little bit. As you saw at RWLK, the cheating didn't pay off. I couldn't get filled on that morning shakeout, but just got to kind of gauge it by ear to see where you can get filled, looking at the prints on the level 2 and the time and sales, see where the prints are going through and see if you can kind of gauge where you can get a fill between the bid and the ask. In terms of stocks at a tighter spread, I usually just take the offer. And by tighter spread, I mean like 1 or 2 cents. 5 cents or more, I usually don't even bother taking the offer. So on the stock like TKMR, probably would try to get filled somewhere, maybe 221.16 or something. Yeah, nice little grind up on TAPM, still grinding up. Still don't like how it trades less than 10,000 shares every candle, but nonetheless, it's been a nice little intraday swing here. Yeah, 100 shares, $1 a cent. Nonetheless, a good chart. Big alpha on 21.85 getting taken out there, but not all of it getting taken out on TKAI. Looks like somebody really wanted a lot of shares. So might see a little bit of a move here on TKAI after the offer just got taken out now completely. Somebody put up a big bid and somebody took out the rest of the offer. But unless this thing picks up volume to where it was trading this morning, probably going to stay away from it for the most part. Alright guys, so last call for questions. If you guys have any further questions beyond this, you're more than welcome to email me at max@watchmadaztrade.com. But at this point, I'm just way too hungry, and I really need to grab a bowl of cereal at least. So last call for questions, guys. Really appreciate all you guys that came out and registered, took the time to come out. It's been an awesome session. Really good questions being asked, a lot of good information being passed around, a lot of knowledge being shared. So really, really appreciate it, guys. Alright guys, so looks like no further questions. So if you guys have any further questions, like I said, just email me, max@watchmadaztrade.com. And do sign up for the sessions again tomorrow and the after hours session tonight if you guys want me to go over some charts for you guys and answer maybe some more in-depth questions about maybe platforms or brokers or taxes or whatever. Pretty much these sessions are also free, so do take advantage and register for them. And any further questions, like I said, just email me. So hopefully you guys learned a thing or two, and do, like I said, take the survey. If anything, I could improve on the session tomorrow. Give me a chance to kind of review your comments and see what I did good on, what I did not good on, what's there to improve. So life is always a perpetual learning process, and I'm more than happy to take your comments and suggestions to heart. Alright guys, thanks a lot for coming. It's been a wonderful session. Hopefully we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Alright, have a good rest of the day, guys. Take it easy.